Hey, welcome back to the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge, and today we have Safety. This, of course, is a football reference. This is a football film. This is based on a true story about Ray McRathleberry. No, sorry, McRathleberry. Michael Rathbay. McRathbay. I'm just going to call him Ray and not embarrass myself further. There's no guarantees of that, but yeah. Anyway, this is a film from 2020. I think it's a Disney Plus original, or it just came out in Disney Plus originally, and it is 2 hours and four minutes long. It's a pretty hefty length of film for something that Disney released directly. This is about a college football student, went to Clemson University on a scholarship. Rough life at home back in Atlanta. And it starts real, it packs a lot in the first few minutes. There's introductions. We literally show up in this story of this true story. And again, when we say true story, based on a true story, there's certain elements that have to be moved around. I imagine. I don't know the true story. If you're a college football fan, if you're a South Carolina resident, if you're a Clemson University fan or student, you know this story already. You've watched the news clips. You've followed this team to the Bowden Bowl the year that this all happened in 2006 or something like that, I think. I'm no expert on any of this. This is not my forte. Star Wars, Marvel, sure, that's me, but not college football. So in this, I learned a lot about this whole struggle. It's a unique story. The NCAA is the governing body of college football, at least for this region or for all of it. I don't know. But they have certain rules in place when it comes to students and how they are treated. How there's a compliance issue. I'm getting ahead of myself, but I'll get to that in a minute. We start off in the film getting to know Ray and his roommate, his almost clichély portrayed Italian roommate, and the usual struggles that a freshman football player has in just about every movie about football. There's always somebody on the team giving him a hard time, or the coaches are just crapping on him, or there's a struggle. Well, this is the boy who put himself in a lot of different, he put a lot of pressure on himself. And forgive me for saying boy. I did not mean that. He's a young man who put a lot of pressure on himself educationally. He's running 18 credits in a semester, which is a lot. So when he's trying to do his best, he's trying to make sure he's doing his best on the football team, but he keeps getting knocked down and having a hard time. Of course, he finds a lovely young woman who catches his eye and wants to date him. He wants to date her, and well, something big happens in his life that causes him everything to come crashing down. It turns out that he has to return home back to Atlanta one night when he discovers that his younger brother is no longer living at home with his mom because his mom is in jail for carrying, and she has a drug addiction problem. She's in jail. She's forced to go into rehab, and the only options for Famar. There's a point where people are mispronouncing it, and they correct him. Famar, his younger brother Famar. There's a moment in which Famar is about ready to head off to foster home and foster care in general. And right there, this movie would have been over. Right there, it would have been Ray's life would have probably been fairly average for a football player. But no, instead of letting his brother go to foster care, he sneaks him onto campus, makes him stay in his room. And, that's not really, people aren't really good with that. You can't necessarily keep like a 12-year-old or something. I don't know how old he is in this film. A kid on a college campus. And so there's a bit of comedy in this. It's used for comedy, where he and his roommate spend a lot of time trying to sneak Tamar around to just go to the bathroom in order to avoid the RA, and yeah, it's a whole thing. So yeah, it's not all serious drama. It is very much a drama, but you, by the way, you know how these sports movies go. There's a formula for sports. Every sports movie, especially the football movies, whether it's Rudy or Invincible or anything else, there's certain circumstances beyond just playing football that somebody must overcome. Some tremendous obstacle, whether it's people or themselves or family or whatever it is. Racism in many cases, remember the Titans, all sorts of things. And yeah, in this case, it's Ray Ray being forced to choose between family and his newfound family at Clemson University. So that drama right there is the centerpiece of this whole thing. I am not going to give away the ending of it, but you know how these things work. It's they're not telling this story to give you a bummer ending. It's supposed to uplift you. It's supposed to probably maybe draw a little tear to your eye as people stand up and do the right thing. They stand up for themselves. They stand up for their family. They stand up for others, and they're usually surrounded with the support of those they love and who love them. So yeah, it's definitely a hanky in the end kind of movie that it's meant to really just make you feel, man, this is how people should be, kind of thing, rather than the world we live in half the time. So yeah, I think it's definitely, you're not going to find too many surprises story-wise in this, and it's not meant to be written in a manner that is, oh, we're going to throw some twists at you, because it's based on a true story. They're pretty much keeping it as close as they can to the real thing. Yes, I'm sure there's a few dramatic flares thrown in here and there. Some things are made up, and conflicts or created, or some conflicts removed, characters combined. Yeah, and there's even, of course, at the very end, where are they now? What happened after the film? What happened after the story? You get to find out what happened with Ray Ray and his brother and his mom, and where they're all at the point that this film came out. And it's an uplifting story. It's meant to be an uplifting story, and it's exactly what it does. So yeah, you get to see Ray Ray working hard to take care of his brother in the face of some things. And when speaking to NCAA earlier, when they find out that when the team finds out that he's been taking care of his brother, when his coaches find out, well, you know what? There's some pushback at first, a little bit for some, but it's driven home. It's that big indoctrination of football, family, college, everything else. We're a family and we take care of each other. We watch each other's backs, and that's a good thing. But of course, it flies in the face when people help football players. It flies in the face of a lot of the rules that prevent them from taking what many people see as bribes, because football students can't be purchased technically. They can, you got a new car. Well, somebody who's buying all your food, taking you out to dinner all the time, treating you better or differently than other team members. Do you get a favoritism? Do you get special treatment? And that is something that's brought up in this, is Ray Ray and his brother getting special treatment for certain purposes. And it puts even more pressure on Ray Ray. So yeah, that little wrinkle in there throws in, makes it a little bit more intense. But that's the only big spoiler I'm going to tell you. But you can figure out how it ends. They push that pressure to the end just to get you to realize, what the obstacle that they're going to overcome is going to be. It's pretty massive. It's can the NCAA really change the way they've been doing things for decades just for this guy? So yeah, we get to Ray Ray is played by Jay Reeves. Famar is played by Thaddeus J. Mixon. I think I don't remember if I've seen him before. Matthew Glave is one of the coaches. You'll recognize him a lot. James Badge Dale is also one of the coaches, and I can't remember, he's been in a bunch of stuff. I've seen him all over the place. Yeah, it's a pretty good cast. It's if you've ever been on a football team or if you've ever been on a sports team or college and things like that, this will probably bring up a lot of memories, some good stirring memories. Hopefully, you had a similar camaraderie with your teammates, and this could make a big burly football guy cry if this strikes a nerve. So I'd say give it a shot. I'm not big on sports, necessarily sports movies, but they trigger a specific thing. They are meant to do a specific thing every single time. There is no situation where you're watching a sports movie, and I'm going to copyright this if I can, where you're just like, oh, it's about family, and then we're going to we're the underdogs overcoming the best team in the league, and then aliens invade halfway through. Yeah, I'm gonna create that movie. I'm gonna write that script when people are allowed to write and act again. So I'm not in either one of those guilds or whatever. So I'm not gonna scab either. So just letting you know, if I want to do this, one of those big twist sports movies where just everything goes not the way you expect it. It'll be garbage, but just saying now. And it will not be based on a true story, unless all those alien videos turn out to be real. Those UFO videos. I'm really getting topical today. Anyway, that's all I can really say. I say if you're into big sports, football, whatever, this is definitely something you want to check out, especially if you're a Clemson fan. Come on, they really rev up you want to go to Clemson after watching this movie. It's a great propaganda piece. So let's pick tomorrow's episode.
316.
Oh, geez. And I bet you I know what color that is. Dang. Because I saw there was a lot of documentaries around it. Okay. We just missed a shark video, which we would have had to repick. But this takes care of one of two shows with this, two versions of this show. I think it's a series. I'm pretty sure it's a series, unless it's like one single one-off special thing. But we're going to if it's a series, I'm just going to watch one episode and I'll get back to you about it. It's called Running Wild with Bear Grylls. A lot of you know who that is. Running Wild with Bear Grylls. So yeah, that's what we're going to do. Running Wild with Bear Grylls on the next Disney Plus Everyday Challenge. I'll see you back here tomorrow with that.